Self-Love is the New Sexy, the podcast devoted to helping you overcome life's most painful and stubborn challenges so you can feel great, have more energy, and live stress-free every day. To reach your full potential, simply work with the powerful spiritual principles that are readily accessible to everyone. It's easier than you think, and on today's show, W. Mark Watts is going to show you how starting with self-love is the key to joyously and harmoniously making that happen.
Hey everybody, it's W. Mark Watts, and I want to say a big hello, welcome, and thank you to everyone who's taking the time to listen to another episode of Self-Love is the New Sexy. And you know how I like to do it, I like to get right into it. And today's episode is going to be really brief, only because I just wanted to come and address something that seems to be rearing its head again. And I just want to be very clear on this one point about this particular aspect of my show so that listeners can make their decisions pretty quickly as to whether or not they want to listen to it or not. So here goes. So on another podcast I've done, and then on this one, I seem to still get questions or comments about me mentioning the use of spirit or spiritual principles or spiritual terminology versus whatever else other people religiously may believe in. So I want to address that right now, and hopefully people will see this episode and will listen to it so they can maybe save themselves some time, or they'll know that this might be the place for them. But either way, I want to give the listeners the ability to do either one. So here we go. So spirituality is what I believe in. That does not mean that I don't believe in anything else. What I do believe is there is a set of principles. There is a supreme power that we use to maneuver around and manage, and that aids our existence. And if we tune into that wisdom, that energy, that power, then that is what we are to do. Now, people call that power many different things. You may even hear me use the term God sometimes. You may hear me say universe. You may hear me refer to it as spirit, divine love. There's many different names. I call it source. There's so many names that I call that power that I believe in and that I subscribe to. And obviously that makes some people uncomfortable because I get the comments or I hear people say, oh, here he goes. It's more of that spiritual stuff. And it's not real, and this, that, and the other. Well, here's the deal. If you listen to this podcast, I will be mentioning the use of spiritual principles and those terms throughout the duration of whatever episodes, whenever I feel it's necessary. So if that bothers you, if that pisses you off, or if you don't like it, then this won't be the podcast show for you. There will be plenty of other shows out there that you can listen to that won't mention it. But it is a huge part of my life. I will refer to it. I subscribe to, I've studied and I've listened to many different people, and I've come to the realization that that is what's right for me. And that's what I'm going to use to speak on. That'll be a part of my platform, regardless of which avenue I take for the rest of my life. Now, some people ask me, well, how do you know that that's real? And here's what I do. If I want to figure out if anything's real in my life, I sit with it. I ask myself the question. And so you are powerful enough, you are intuitive enough, you are in sync enough that if something is for you, if you are to believe it, then your body will feel right. You will get the answer. If you just sit with it and ask yourself the question and get quiet, you'll know. And if it resonates with you, if you feel good, if it feels in alignment with who you are, then that means it's right for you. I don't believe in something being right for everybody, but this is what's right for me. And if you want to decide whether or not something's right for you, then you have to ask your higher power. You have to ask the universe that question, and you have to sit and get quiet. And you can tell by the way you feel, and the answer will come to you. Yes, it's for you, or no, it's not. And things change over time. It might be for you now and it might not later, or it could not be for you at the moment and it could be for you later. But whatever it is, you have to decide. So I'm going to get off my soapbox here and not going to stay too long on it, because it's definitely a subject that I'm super passionate about, because I know who I am and I know what I believe in. And I just wanted to bring it up real briefly today, early on in the show, so that people will have the opportunity to understand kind of where I'm coming from, and they can make that decision whether to tune in or tune out. But I do believe that there's so many great spiritual principles that have helped me. And again, you can call it whatever you want. It's all the same thing. And that's the thing that it tickles me on the inside, is that people get so caught up in a phrase instead of listening to the principles and the methodologies and the overall principles, just really digging into what's going on and seeing how it feels. They get so stuck up on a name, and then they discount everything. But that's neither here nor there. That's what people do. As we continue to evolve, that'll change as well. But that's one of the things that we have to deal with now. So I hope that this doesn't take too much of your time out. Like I said, I'm about to get out of here on this, and then we'll get back to the regular scheduled show in the next episode. But I did want to address that, because I am still getting emails and people are asking these questions again. And I didn't address it on my other podcast early on, but on this one, I felt like since it was coming back up, I wanted to go ahead and address it early on. So the people who want to be here can be here, and the people who don't want to be here cannot be here. And either way, it's all good. It's all good. It's all beautiful. That's the way it's supposed to be. So that's all I got for you tonight. Just a quick episode. And thank you for listening. Those of you who continue to hang out with me, and those who gave it a try and decided it's not for you, great. Thanks for coming out and giving it a shot. But for those who will be listening to me in the future, I can't wait to get into the next episode, because I've got several great topics written down here and I'm working on the messages, and I look forward to speaking with you in the next episode real soon. So take care, everybody, and I'll talk again shortly. Bye now.
You've been listening to Self-Love is the New Sexy with W. Mark Watts. If you enjoyed today's show, be sure to tell a friend. Also, make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing to our show on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you listen to podcasts.